Welcome to part 2 of the Finati BD guide, where in the previous video, you learned the basics of the game, a bit of its history, and the silent buffs and what they do. In this video, you'll learn the aggressive buffs, how to counteract each of them, and how to beat SM. After SNAD, you'll have a really miserable time, at least I did, with the next max modes of this game, as you now have to deal with a new type of buff, the aggressive buff. These buffs are the reason SM and SSM respectively place way higher than the NAD duo. As unlike Silent, where the buffs usually take place for like 30 seconds and throughout 5 AM, aggressive buffs are permanent and stay throughout the entire night. The challenges that have aggressive on are honestly not that bad and should be no problem. However, the main focus for the aggressive buff change is seen in SM, with all 15 characters on 20 AI on aggressive. Here are the following buffs. Disembodied now attacks on both sides of your office, forcing you to shut off both a left and a right cam respectively. Impurity no longer instantly resets her movement timer. Instead, her timer refills such that 1 second of her camera being shut off equals 2 seconds of movement timer being refilled. Cephalus and Undying are only stalled when you're holding still on their side of the office. Their kill timers are also reduced to 6 seconds instead. Oswald's kill timer drains faster while you're in the cameras. The face will only leave with the lights off and if cam 9 is also shut off. MP&M no longer pauses his kill timer while flicking in the office. Mortimer never leaves your office. Shutting off his camera just resets his timer. CTF's kill timer goes from 2 seconds to 2/3 of a second if you either stand still or turn off the lights. Pete switches cameras 3 times. You must look at him in all 3 of those said times, while his kill timer resets after every time you look at him. Willie now appears in 3 cameras. Sparky now combines his kill timers for both the office and camera faces, giving you only 11.5 seconds for both of those set phases. Now, if I'm gonna be honest, these buffs are not as bad as you think. So, what makes SM and SSM so difficult? Well, it's these 3 shits. Dude, fuck! Oh my god, you were 1. Why? No! Oh my god! No! Oh my... Photonegative Mickey no longer appears in your office, forcing you to memorize whether he was last in Camp 2 or Camp 6. Hourglass now has a task for every single camera position. If he was in Camp 3, shut it off for 1 second. For Camp 4, shut that camera on for 1 second. For Cam 5, you have to stand still on the left. For Cam 8, stand still on the right, and for Cam 9, just turn off the lights. Classic Photonegative Mickey moves twice before he enters your office. His time to enter the office is also reduced from 34 seconds to 26 seconds. These 3 characters are the main memory portion of this game, and they're the reason you'll likely die from the other characters, or just be killed by them themselves. For P&M, the hard part, for me at least, wasn't even the fact that you have to memorize where he last was. It's the fact his leave timer takes too damn long. Sure, 2 seconds doesn't seem long, but my god. When everyone else leaves in less than 2 seconds, you'll be surprised that you'll likely have the most deaths from him for leaving his camera off for too little. With Hourglass, he joins the P&M duo as another character you have to memorize, as he now forces you to do a task for all 5 cams. Despite this, once you get the hang of it, he becomes a lot more consistent, but it's still really hard. But overall, Hourglass is a lot more manageable than you think as you keep playing. And shockingly, and to no surprise, CP&M is the exact reason you'll die to some of the other characters. Indirectly, that is. That's the exact reason why I have so many Cephalus and Oswald deaths. Despite the memory game being a lot harder for him, especially, it was actually not as bad as I thought it would be, since his kill timer is 8 seconds and his time to leave is 1 second. Because of this, I would actually just close the camera midway through the office cycle. And that is exactly why I have so many of those Cephalus and Oswald deaths. You usually are used to delaying the office cycle, but don't do it for too long. Otherwise, you might die to one of them. Now, onto the actual mode itself. I honestly had one of the worst experiences playing this max mode. The reason why is because it just felt like nails on a chalkboard. It was so annoying to play. Don't get me wrong, the max mode is actually pretty balanced, for me at least, and sometimes it's pretty decently fair, let's say, but dear God, I just want to punch my keyboard sometimes from failing after failing after failing after failing after fail. Yeah, you get the point. But honestly, the big three are the main reason you'll probably die so much, whether directly from them or indirectly to other characters. Purity can also get you though, as her kill timer no longer resets, so it's best to just leave her camera off as much as possible. If you keep prioritizing her too much, you might actually forget to deal with some of the other characters, causing you to die to them. Believe me, it's happened to me. I also recommend worrying about the face. Since he requires cam 9 to be shut off at the same time as the lights are off, it actually causes him to be a lot more difficult to manage sometimes, as he might be able to get you without you even noticing. If you're struggling at the beginning of the night, however, I can easily help you with that. At the beginning of the night, you'll need to immediately shut off Cam 3 and find Hourglass's Glass and Mortimer respectively. For Hourglass, I recommend looking at Cams 3, 4, and 8, since you'll be able to figure out what camera you'll need to shut off or to just deal with him during the office cycle. As for Mortimer, you don't want to shut off his camera just yet when you find him, as you want him to sync with the office cycle. Speaking of which, after the first one, you want to do it normally, and then as Sparky leaves, shut off a camera and shut off Mortimer's camera after. Remember, his kill timer is 24 seconds, so although it seems like you're about to die, he's actually a lot more lenient than you think. And remember, it pauses as his camera is off. After the first cycle, immediately check for the PNMs. CPNM's buff would have actually already taken place at the time, and they're both about to attack, so you can easily just simply look for them. They'll actually sync up for the first attack, but they'll eventually desync. When they attack, I usually get rid of CPNM first, since he leaves faster than PNM. So it's usually best to, like, after you deal with CPNM, close PNM's camera and check Cam 3, and then as soon as you see a sprite fly in, immediately close Cam 3. After dealing with the Mickeys, shut off Impurity, as I mentioned before, and prepare for the second office cycle. At the second office cycle, the Hourglass and the face will sync up. So it's best to actually ignore Undying's audio cue. Instead, you want to pay attention to when the face enters your office. The reason for this is because you can actually just use his stalling mechanic, as I mentioned in the previous video. Hourglass, however, was in Cam 3 or Cam 4. Instead, shut off one of those cameras. And after he leaves, he takes 1 second to leave. After he leaves, shut off Cam 9 immediately, and then start the office cycle as soon as possible. You want to get everybody out so you can deal with Impurity and a Mortimer. Once Sparky leaves, shut off Mortimer immediately, and then after Mortimer resets his kill timer, shut off Impurity. This should give you a much easier beginning and actually lets you focus a lot more to the rest of the run. Lastly, practice is essential. Seems cliche, but trust me, it's really, really important for SM. It heavily relies on how much you know about the buffs and the game as a whole. But once you get it, you'll be free and beat a top 50 and beat SM. No way! No way! No, no, no! Dude! Oh, come on! Oh my! Yay! Yay! Yay!